This seemingly routine Tuesday in October took a macabre turn as construction workers, clearing a vacant lot in Elmhurst, Queens, struck something solid while operating a backhoe. Initially, the metallic sound led them to believe they had encountered a buried pipe. However, as the backhoe raised its arm, it became evident that this day was about to become anything but ordinary. The history of Elmhurst, formerly known as Mittenberg, can be traced back to Dutch settlers in 1652. This village was a suburb of New Amsterdam, a British territory following the events of 1664. Renamed Newtown, the area thrived and eventually became known as Elmhurst in 1897, thanks to its abundant elm trees. The district's history includes notable events such as the introduction of the Newtown pippin apple in the 1700s and its role as a town seat in the 1680s. During the mid-19th century, Elmhurst experienced significant growth due to the introduction of a horse car line in 1854 and the opening of a Long Island Railroad line in 1876. The unearthing of the coffin in 2011 took place on a vacant lot at 47 to 11 90th Street in Elmhurst, which had once served as a burial ground. This cemetery was located behind the street marked African Methodist Episcopal Church. The land was originally purchased for $75 in 1828 by 4 individuals: Coles, Doyle, Johnson, and Peterson, all of whom were former slaves. They initially constructed a carpenter's shop on the plot, later used by the United African Society for worship. The church itself was eventually built, signifying a place of importance in the community. The discovery in 2011 was not a recent murder victim, as initially suspected, but rather the remarkably preserved body of an individual buried over 150 years ago. The burial ground at the site was the resting place for members of the United African Society and former slaves, making this a significant historical find. The iron coffin, a patent design by Fisk and Raymond of Providence, Rhode Island, in the 1840s, contributed to the woman's preservation. This mysterious figure became known as the Iron Coffin Lady. The site's history revealed a somber chapter in the neighborhood's past, highlighting the struggles and achievements of freed African Americans in the area. While only a portion of the bodies from the cemetery were reinterred at Mount Olivet Cemetery when the church moved in 1928, the majority remained at the vacant lot. This accidental discovery shed light on an important piece of Elmhurst's history and the enduring legacy of its early African American community. The Iron Coffin Lady served as a poignant reminder of the past and the individuals who helped shape the neighborhood's identity. In 1849, these distinctive coffins made their public debut at 2 exhibitions in New York: the American Institute Exhibition and the State Agricultural Society Fair in Syracuse. However, these coffins came with a hefty price tag of approximately $100 each, a substantial sum compared to the mere $2 cost of standard pine caskets during that era. Nevertheless, these unique caskets found favor among the affluent for 2 significant reasons. Firstly, once a body was placed inside the iron coffin, it was effectively sealed, enabling long-distance transportation by ship or railroad if required. Secondly, these robust iron coffins were believed to deter grave robbers, adding to their popularity. The inventor behind these iron coffins was Almond Dunbar Fisk, originally a manufacturer of cast iron stoves and boilers. Fisk's inspiration for the airtight cast iron coffin was deeply personal. When his brother passed away in 1844 in Oxford, Mississippi, far from their family's burial plot in New York, it deeply affected their father, a man of faith. In response, Fisk used his expertise in metalwork to devise a solution to the challenge of burying loved ones who had died far from home. This invention led to the formation of a partnership with his father-in-law, Asa Raymond, and the birth of the Fisk and Raymond Company. Tragically, Fisk's life was cut short in 1850 at the young age of 32. However, his brother-in-law, William Meade Raymond, stepped in to continue the business. Each iron coffin was meticulously crafted in the shape of the human body, featuring a glass panel through which mourners could view the face of the deceased. This innovative design contributed to the remarkably preserved state of the body found in Elmhurst. In a fascinating turn of events, forensic archaeologist Scott Warren Nash's examination of a remarkably well-preserved body found in Elmhurst revealed that the woman had died from smallpox. Initial concerns arose about the potential survival of the smallpox virus due to the body's extraordinary state of preservation, but subsequent autopsies confirmed that the virus was no longer a threat. Nash's investigations further unveiled the woman's age, estimating her to be between 25 and 35 years old, with geochemical analysis suggesting her extended residence in the northeastern United States and her hair indicating a balanced diet. Nash embarked on the challenging task of identifying the woman, leading him to access the 1850 census for Newtown. Among 33 individuals fitting the criteria, Martha Peterson, an African-American woman born around 1824, emerged as a likely candidate. She had resided in the household of William Raymond, a partner in the Fisk and Raymond iron coffin-making business. The mystery of how a modest domestic servant from the mid-19th century could afford a $100 coffin was partially unraveled. It appeared that Peterson's connection to William Raymond, a partner in the Fisk casket business, might explain the provision of the coffin, possibly an unsellable one due to an error on it. Despite identifying the iron coffin lady, questions remained about her appearance, as her face had suffered significant damage during excavation. Forensic imaging expert Joe Mullins was called upon to reconstruct her likeness. Using a CT scan as a reference, Mullins painstakingly recreated the right side of Peterson's face, as the left had incurred the most damage. Considering her African-American heritage, Mullins attributed brown eyes and a medium skin tone to her. The results were astonishing, providing a vivid image of a woman who had passed away nearly 170 years ago. To honor the Iron Coffin Lady, the modern-day Street Mark African Methodist Episcopal Church conducted a funeral service, followed by her reburial at Mount Olivet Cemetery in Queens. Local efforts are underway to preserve the vacant lot in Elmhurst as a landmark site, recognizing its historical significance in the story of freed slaves in New York State. Subscribe and press the bell icon for regular updates, and don't forget to like, comment, and share the video.